Oh,
Oh, hello
hey! Nice to see
there.
you. Well, thank
Welcome.
you for attending our webinar on navigating full cycle distribution, product creation, and movement in Odoo.
We have some very exciting stuff for you, so tune in.
I'm Matt Valdine. I'm one of your speakers here today.
I'm Tiffany. I will also be one of your speakers today. We are both account executives here at Odoo, and I will be testing Matt's knowledge and patience on Odoo today.
All right, I hope I pass. Now, today we're going to cover a couple topics here. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about Odoo, get you more familiar with what Odoo is. I'm going to do a case study on Tiffany's business. Then we're going to discuss the distribution during the presentation, and then we're going to go into the database itself and actually get our hands dirty with the software. So first of all, what is Odoo? Well, you might have heard about us on podcasts or on YouTube, but what we are it is a all-in-one business software solution. So you can do your accounting, sales, CRM, purchase, inventory management, all in one software. And it's easy to use, built on good code, and it's overall awesome software. And so right now, has more than 4,000 employees worldwide. We have 67% year-on-year growth in more than 170 countries around the world, obviously around the world, 12 million happy users, and more than 5,000 partners globally. And what is Odoo's mission? Well, it's to help people to do more in less time.
And today we will be doing a case study. I will be switching hats from account executive over to business owner. Today I will be talking about my furniture company, Bell Escape, which I run completely online. And right for the next slide, you can see some of the things that I do. These are some of the images that I brought to life using some of the products that I sell. So you can see all of the different areas that I cover, which is pretty vast in its entirety. So I have a lot of things to go over today. So, my current business model, I sell completely online. So, I work with multiple furniture vendors all around the world to help make this business come true. They are all so wonderful, great communication, and they really provide some fantastic support. So, I sell completely on my e commerce site, and sometimes I get in contact with customers who are looking for custom made orders. So anything that I do not have on the website, they go ahead and call me and we help make their dreams come true. From there, we go ahead and then we sell to the client. And then we, of course, end with delivery and follow up just to make sure that they are fully satisfied with their services. And I've been in business for a while now, so there's a few pain points that I've run into. And right now I'm looking for a software and I have a specific wish list in mind to get started. The first thing is inventory tracking. I deal with so many vendors and thousands of different products of all different areas, so I have a lot to keep track of. So my biggest thing is that I really need to find good traceability within inventory tracking. The next thing is going to be tracking those landing costs because I work with so many different international vendors. Prices are constantly changing. So I really need a system that keeps up to date with that level of change in a way that provides me with the information that I need and less work for me. Next, similarly with vendors and price lists, I really need to be able to keep track of all of that as well. So being able to know when my vendors change their price or being able to get the best bang for my buck, I need to be able to see that as well. Next, traceability, being able to see where things move and then which vendor certain products come from. Let's say a customer receives the product and they receive it damaged, unfortunately. And I can go back and see exactly which vendor it came from and really get to the root of the problem with that. And then finally, I am very busy. I have a lot of things to do. I wear all the hats when it comes to running this business. So, automations are required for me in order to make my business model so much easier so I can focus more on customer support rather than dealing with emails every single day.
All right, now thank you, Tiffany. We're going to see what we can do for your business.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go back to Odoo at this point in time. And again, Odoo will be able to help you out a lot because we have an app for that. You can see here that Odoo has, you know, signs, CRM, subscriptions, full field service, and all these apps replace some existing technology like QuickBooks, DocuSign, Salesforce. So you don't need all those softwares. So you're saving money by replacing all that and just using Odoo.
Wait, so Matt, I have about seven different subscriptions that I pay for right now, all to do basically everything that I need to do with my business. Are you telling me that I only need Odoo to do all that?
That's right. You don't need to have 7 different subscriptions to run your business. Odoo can handle all of it, so you're saving money and saving hassle. And on top of that, all the apps talk to each other, so they're all natively integrated.
So, if I am working in one part of the country and let's say I have an assistant who's working on the other side of the country, will the software completely update in real life time so that way one of my workers will know exactly what's going on the software?
Exactly. Odoo has great traceability, great tracking of internal communication, and I'll have a accountability record so you can see who said what and did what when.
Nice, thank you.
So on top of that, why do distribution with Odoo? Well, first of its ease of use. It's a very friendly software. All the apps have a similar look and feel. So if you know how to use one app, you'll have a very good idea of how the next app will work. Next is integration. Everything is natively integrated and talks to each other seamlessly, so that you don't have to you have to worry about connecting this sales order to that invoice. It's all done natively in the software. Odoo is very customizable, very custom friendly. So if you need a special field, create a special operation, you could do that with Odoo Studio very quickly and very easily. Scalability, as your company grows, as you're bringing on more people, having more products to sell, and more steps in your business, Odoo can scale with you, and you can add additional apps at no additional cost.
So, I have thousands of products that I have to keep record of. Can Odoo handle that level of inventory?
We do that every day.
Wonderful, thank you. That's great.
And last but not least is value. Odoo gives you a lot of bang for your buck. You have a lot of functionality, and as we mentioned before, we can replace a whole bunch of software, save you a lot of money on subscriptions. And so now for today, what we're going to go over is we're going to do a product setup. So we're going to create a product, customer, vendor on the product setup side, and then do the workflow. We're going to create a sales order. We're going to create a purchase order to supply our warehouse with that item, and then we're actually going to deliver the product to the customer.
Okay, great. That's like my exact workflow. So that's be really nice to see.
Awesome. So the specific topics that we'll cover, excuse me, a little odoopsie, is first we're going to talk about inventory. We're going to show you what that looks like. We're going to talk about costing and methods and inventory evaluation, serial and lot numbers, variance on products, landed costs, and oops, it's already demonstration time. Look at here. Look at
I'm so
us.
excited.
All right,
Show me what you got.
all right, let's hop into the database. All right. So this is the main page of Odoo. You can see here there's a number of apps that have already been installed for your business. And so we're going to start off, Tiffany, we're going to go into the inventory app and actually create one of your products together. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and click on inventory. And this is our warehouse. We can see things going out, things coming in, but we're going to go right up here to products, click on products. So you have a number of different products already in the system that with a number of different variants, different prices. And this is one view in Odoo. You can also switch it to a list view right over here. You can see overall the sales price, the cost on hand, and the forecasted amount. So Odoo, you can change views in Odoo depending on what you want to see.
Okay. And then for me, I have a special use case. I don't necessarily drop ship, but I also do not keep any inventory on hand. Every single one of my pieces lives within my vendors' warehouses, which are not my warehouses. Will this still work for that in order to keep track of all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. We can do basically consignment, so it can be in someone else's warehouse, and you can track that what's in each warehouse where with our warehouses app, so you can save what each product is in terms of location.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So now I am going to go actually in terms of reporting for your stock, you actually go over here and you can see right over here under reporting we have evaluation. Right now though, it looks like we have nothing in stock, so we're not going to. I'll go ahead and click on it. And you can see here that you can see the valuation of your warehouse at this point in time. Right now, we don't have anything in there, so there's not really worth very much. But that's where you can find Odoo evaluation, or evaluation is right under reporting, along with stock, locations, move history. But we're going to go back into products, and we're going to create a new product.
Sounds good.
All right. So, Tiffany, what's the name of the product that you would like to create today?
Today we're going to create the French coffee table.
French coffee table. Fantastic. All right, so this is going to be a good, and then in terms of tracking this, do you want to track just by quantity, by lots, or by serial number?
I usually track by serial number so that way I can trace anything back if there's any malfunctions with the product piece.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to select track by unique serial number right over here.
Mhm.
What's the sales price for this item?
The sales price will be $2,046.
$2,046. All right. And right over here, so I'm going to, again, I like to hit the save button a lot just because I'm a little neurotic like that. So now in terms of category right over here, this actually links to your costing method. So right over here, you can see that there's a number of different categories right over here, and we're going to select furniture as the category. And if I hit this little button right over here, it's an internal link,
Hmm.
and it will take me to the costing method in Odoo.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
here you can select the costing method. There's standard, first in, first out, and average cost. And we can also actually do last in, first out if there's expiration dates associated with your products. But this is furniture, so there obviously is not.
Right.
And so for you, how do you normally keep track of your costs?
I usually keep track of it in, first out.
Okay, perfect. So we'll just leave it as is.
Hmm.
We'll use the breadcrumbs to go back right over here. And we're going to go next to attribute and variance. So in terms of this your French coffee tables, do you have different fabric? Do you have different materials that they're made of? What makes them different from one another?
Yeah, so when I usually do a custom order, I send out a list of samples to my clients that are looking for that custom piece. So these samples usually come in multiple different finishes.
Hmm,
So that would be the attributes
okay,
finish.
finish. Okay.
And then the finishes, I'll just name a couple. It's going to be distressed,
Okay, look at that. We already got that in here.
wonderful, and then we're going to do matte.
Okay, matte with two. Yeah,
There we
that's already
go.
in there.
Perfect.
All right, so we already got two
Hmm.
attributes. Any other things like material it's made out of?
Not for the coffee table, no.
Okay, so just these two variants?
Yes.
All right, no problems. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And once I hit save, you can see that two variants are automatically created right at the top in the smart button right up here.
Hmm.
And so now I can actually configure this if there's a price difference or anything else different that makes these two values different from one another. So does one sell for more than the other?
Yes, the distressed one usually costs about $200 more.
Okay, so I'm just going to hop right in here and put in $200 for the distressed coffee table.
Okay, great.
All right. So now that that's done, we've configured that. I'm going to go right over to purchase here, and I'm going to add a vendor.
Hmm.
Now, we can see that you already have two vendors set up for your business right over here.
That's usually how many I choose between anyway, so that's
Okay, perfect.
perfect.
So we're going to go ahead and just include the vendor one and vendor two right over here. And we're going to set a quantity for the price. So let's say for the quantity for one, what would they charge normally?
Let's say that they would charge $2,046.
Okay, so right at sticker price.
Oh, we're gonna do less than that. We're gonna
Okay,
do $1,000.
$1,000. Okay, great. And let's say for vendor two, you can get that for say $750.
Mhm.
So it's slightly better price for quantity one. But let's say the benefit of going with vendor one is that you can get a price break if you buy a bunch. So let's say we do for five, you can actually buy it for $650. Odoo you can build the logic in there. So then when you automatically add five from vendor one, it will actually reduce the price to
Oh,
$650.
cool.
And next, also, you can change the delivery lead time right up here. So let's say, well, vendor one actually has a slightly longer lead time than vendor two. You can put that into it right up here. And so next, we're going to go over to inventory and say what route we're going to use for this method of resupply. So obviously we're buying this,
Mhm.
but also you just said you don't want to keep this in stock necessarily.
No, I only want to reach out to my vendors to see if they have it in stock before I make the purchase.
Okay, great. So we can specify this is going to replenish this on order. Odoo is also capable of doing dropship. But right now, given your business, we're going to say replenish on order.
Mhm.
All right, now we have that. We hit save. And also, before we go on to actually placing a sales order, we're going to go actually to price lists. So price lists is a cool feature in Odoo, so you can charge different prices to different customers. So we can create a new price list right over here. We have our default price list. I'm just going to keep a default price list to keep it the same, but we're also going to create a new one for our VIP customers. All right, I'm going to create a VIP, and then we're going to say right over here for this price list, we're gonna hop for this applies to the, so let's say the distressed and the yeah, just do the stress for now. And we're going to say that the price for this is actually, for this price list, it's going to be, instead of 2,046, we'll just say they're going to save a nice couple $100 by going selling it for $1,800. Pardon me. And with a minimum quantity of, let's say one. Not 100, just one.
That'd be a really good order for
That would be
me.
a great order.
That would make my year.
Yeah. All right. So now that we have that all set up, we have our price rules, we have our variants. You can see we have 0 on hand and 0 forecasted.
Mhm.
And so let's go actually sell some product. How about that?
Perfect. Let's do it.
All right. So going back out of here, going back all the way to our main page, I'm going to go into our sales app right over here. So here we're going to create a new sales order for a customer. Now we can create actually a new customer right here on the fly. Let's say someone gives you a call and says, "Hey, I want to place an order."
Okay.
All
We'll
right.
say her name is Jeannie.
Jeannie. All right. Jeannie. All right. And we're going to create Jeannie, and actually we're going to hit create and edit. So we're going to create a street address here, 123 Fake Street, in SF, California. And I'll just throw in a zip here, and you say the United States. And I'm going to put in her phone and everything like this, but we're just going to put in an email so she can actually receive the quotation. Here we go. So now we just create a customer, and let's say they call and they ask for that coffee table. So we're going to go right down here to add product.
Mhm.
We're going to say select the French coffee table. And you can see right up here what happens automatically is that, well, we have 2 different variants for this coffee table.
Mhm.
So which one are we going to choose? Well, I think they're going to go with the distressed. You're going to make a little extra money off of that. So with that, we're going to confirm that one quantity of one. The unit price, let's see here. Well, we didn't select the price list, I think, the correct price list. Update prices. Oh, there we go. So we're going to make them a VIP, and you can see that it selects the VIP pricing right over here. And you can also throw out a little more of a discount if you want on this. Do you want to give them a little something special?
No, they're already a VIP client.
Okay, very fair enough. So now with that done, we're going to send this out to via email. And you can see right over here in the chatter, this is an ongoing ledger of all the changes that we've made in the system, and it gives you an update right over here. So we're going to send this via email to the client.
And will this link directly to my own business email as well?
Yes, it will. You can send out your emails. So when they receive this email, it's looking like it's coming from your business email.
Oh,
Yes.
but it all allows for me to be able to track that within the same sales order.
Exactly.
I really like that. That's
Yeah.
very nice.
And a nice thing is when they reply, they'll reply to your business email, and that reply will come into Odoo as well.
Perfect.
Yeah. Great. So moving on here, we're going to change the subject just to table. And you can see here, this is a templated email that's the system generated for you. So here's your quotation. It's going to add some tax on top of the order right over here. The PDF of the quotation is right over here. And I'm going to hit send. And now it records that I sent it out to the customer. And also they'll receive an email. In that email, there'll be a link for them to actually sign and pay. So I hit preview. This is what they'll actually see. You can see right over here that there'll be the order information, the invoice and shipping address, a place to communicate back to their sales rep, and a place to accept and sign the order.
That's perfect for me, especially because I like to keep everything digital, but I also like to be able to keep track of everything as well.
All right, great. So with that, we're going to accept and sign. And then you can auto-generate or draw your own. I'm going to auto-generate right over here, or auto-sign. And then once it accepts, it'll say thank you, it's been confirmed. And going back out of here, now it's been confirmed. And you can see right over here, there's the signed PDF of the agreement.
Oh.
And so it's right over there, automatically puts it on to your chatter. So from here, I can also create an invoice and go through the accounting process.
Usually I go and purchase the item first, make sure it's in stock, and then I create the invoice.
That's a very smart idea.
Yes,
Now-
saves me some time and money.
But I do want to point out something that's really nifty. You can see once this is confirmed, Odoo automatically generates a purchase order because we said replenish on order, and it creates a delivery order
Oh,
automatically.
and I don't have to do it
You
manually.
don't have to do it manually. That's the automation power of Odoo.
Nice. Those are the
Yeah.
automations I was looking for.
Yeah. So I could click on this button and go directly to the purchase order, but I want to show you where it lives in the system.
Okay.
So hopping out of the sales app, we're going to go into the purchase app, which is right here. And in case you ever lose track of where it is, you can just drag and drop and make it easier to find.
Mhm.
So right here, we're going to go into the purchase app right here. And you can see that there's a couple purchase orders sitting to be approved. But right over here, we have purchase order 3 for related to sales order number 4. So we click on this, and you can see right over here, it's going to say a French coffee table, distressed 1. It links right back to the sales order in case I want to see the reference document where it came from. And then you can also modify it. Let's say we wanted it to order a few more because we expect this to be a very hot moving item. We could always add more to this. And let's go say we want to add 6 to this order. And look at that. Remember the pricing rule
Oh,
from
so it
earlier.
automatically generated
It
for
automatic
me.
generate. You don't have to remember it. It'll change
The
the
system
price.
is very
It's
smart.
very smart.
Let's just keep it at 1 though for now for our order.
All right. So we'll keep it at 1. Hit save. Now I could send this out via email again to my vendor,
Uh-huh.
and so just like the sending out the sales order to my client, and hit send, and it's sent out. So you can see right here also includes a button for them to confirm the sales order.
Oh, so they can tell me if they have it in stock.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And so I'm going to manually confirm the order right over here,
Hmm.
and you can see what happens once I confirm it. It actually generates a receipt order automatically for my warehouse. So I can click right over here and go to receive the products. But again, I'm going to pretend like I'm sitting in the warehouse. I have no idea what just happened. And a truck pulls up with some furniture. And they say, hey, I'm here for delivery. Well, where does it go? Or did we even order it in the first place? Well, you can easily check by going to the receipts order in the system. So I'm going to say, there's 2 to receive. And I could say, okay, who's this from? This is from Bell Escapes Vendor 1 and PO number 3. Okay, here it is. Here's that order. Let me click on into it. And look, there's our distressed French coffee table.
Okay, so each person, no matter the location, can basically live in a different module of Odoo.
Exactly. They don't have to know what the whole history was, but they could be able to see the source document right over here and the destination location in our warehouse. So we can say this is going to the stock location, but we can also pick a different location in our warehouse as well.
Hmm.
But we're going to say we're going to put this back into stock. And then if I try to validate this, Tiffany, did we say we needed a serial number associated with this?
We sure did.
Okay, well, what happens if I try to validate this before putting in a serial number?
I would hope it would make me need to put in a serial number.
Exactly, then that's exactly what Odoo does. It requires you to put in a serial number before you move it so you don't lose track of the item.
Hmm.
So all you need to do is click on this little hamburger icon right over there, and then you can hit generate lot serials number, or you can add your own, or you can even import that. We can create our own by just going 1, 2, 3, 4, hit save, and then when I hit validate, we have the update in our traceability report. So now the traceability report is created. If I click on it, it tells you the history of the movement of the product in our warehouse.
Oh, so I can see that it went from my vendors to that stocking place that I
Exactly.
indicated.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful.
Now, going back out of here, so now that we have it in, I'm going to actually go into products right here. And you can see right now we have 1 on stock.
Mm-hmm.
Clicking in here, and we have 1 on hand, but we have 0 forecasted.
And why is that?
Well, if I click on the forecast link right here, you can see I have 1 on hand, none are incoming, but 1 is outgoing.
Oh, so that means it's going directly to my customer.
Exactly. And you can go down here and see what's taking it out of your inventory in
Hmm.
sales order number 4. I can even click on it to go back to the sales order. So everything is connected in Odoo. You can see the entire history at a glance very easily. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hop out of that and actually deliver it to the client.
Can we create the invoice first?
We sure can. So let's do
Perfect.
that right now.
I will never send anything to my client until they sign and pay.
And sign and pay. So I'm going to go right back to the sales order in
Uh-huh.
the sales app. I'm going to hit create invoice. And we're going to say it's a regular invoice, but we can do down payment as well if need be.
Very nice.
So I'm going to hit create draft.
Mhm.
And here we go. Now, if we want to add a landed cost, which is one of your concerns, well,
Yes.
first what we're going to do is create a landed cost item. So we're just going to go right over here to products. We're going to go, look at that, landed cost. It's already been created. And so just to let you know, in Odoo, landed cost is defined as a service, not a good. So it's here we have our landed cost as a service, and it's also identified as a landed cost.
So I just need to set it up
Exactly.
correctly first.
But here we go. We have our landed cost. It's going to be $1, very inexpensive shipping or an additional cost to your customers. We're going to go back to the sales order right over here. Pardon me. There we go. And we're going to go into the invoice,
Mhm.
and we're going to add a line right over here, and we're going to add that landed cost. And you can see it pulls it up, adds it to the invoice. I'm just going to go ahead and hit confirm and hit create landed costs, making sure it's going to the right account in my inventory, my
Right.
accounting system.
Very important.
Very important. We're going to validate that. And okay, let's see here. A little, oh, do please define the transfers. Oh yeah, that's important to notice. Is what transfer does it apply? This landing cost apply to? Again, it's a little helps to protect against odoopsies.
So the system will, if I set it up a specific way, the system won't let me move unless it tailors to that specific setting that I set it up as.
Mostly, yeah. This is specifically is saying like what movement does that landing plus
Okay,
apply to?
nice. So it
And
makes
so
me fill everything out before I can move forward.
it makes sure, yeah, it's proper accounting.
Very nice.
Yeah. So now we're gonna validate it, and look, there we go. So now it's all good. We have create our invoice. And we could then go back to the invoice and send it out to our customer. And by hitting send and hitting send right over there. And now the invoice is sent out to our customer.
Nice.
So now that that is done, let's see here. We send out to our customer. We could go back into here and see the whole moves history of our products right over here. But also I wanted to go back to that specific product and going back to that lot serial number. So here we can see that we have a couple lots and serial numbers that we have been tracking. And you can see right over here, here's that 1, 2, 3, 4 that we created earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and you can see the history associated with this specific serial number, the purchase it came from, its location, and the traceability report. And so this is now being updated. Oh, did we not ship it out yet?
We have not shipped it out yet.
We have not shipped it out yet.
Let's go over that.
Let's go. Let's do that. I think that'd be a great idea for our customer to actually receive their product.
Now that they've paid.
Not that we'll.
Well, now that the invoice has been sent out, they
Yeah.
need to pay, then we can send it out.
Well, let's just send it out for them because it's been so nice.
Good graces.
Good graces. Here we go. So now that the product, they have their invoice, we're going to just go ahead and just validate for them. So we hit validate right over here. Now we can also input which specific serial number that we're going to use. But also Odoo is smart enough to know that because we only have one in stock, it's going to pick that one automatically.
Thank goodness.
So but we can also manually select it if we want. But now we hit validate, and now it's been removed from our warehouse. Now the traceability report has been updated. So you can see right down here the history. So you can see that it's been moved out of our warehouse, and it's also this is where it came from.
Oh, so now it's going from vendors to stock and then stock to customer.
Exactly.
Perfect. That's exactly the kind of traceability that I need to have, especially because sometimes these orders take a long time, especially with custom orders. I need to be able to know where their package is at a given point so they can leave me alone.
All right. All right. Well, I see you love your customers.
I do.
But yeah, and then also then you can go back to here and see that the quantity on hand has been updated. So now we back to 0 and 0 forecasted. So everything
Oh,
is traced,
great.
everything has been updated automatically, and you can but we can still see the history of our purchases and our sold items associated with this product.
This is great. Thank you so much, Matt. This
Ab-
is very, very informative. I'm looking forward to learning more about Odoo and moving forward with this in my business.
Okay, awesome. All right. And then with that,
Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I hope that this was a very informative webinar for you today. Thank you very much, Matt, for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to send us a message using the emails on the screen or leave a comment below.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.